Extensions are a tricky topic because there's no universal policy. Different professors will have different rules dictating whether and when they grant extensions, and if so, what the penalty for missing a deadline is. As a student, your goal should be to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you have to ask for an extension. So you should always try to get a jump start on your assignment well before the due date. However, sometimes life happens, and when it does, you need to be aware of what your professor's policies are on the syllabus, and you need to consider how to ask for an extension in a respectful, professional manner. When contacting a professor about an extension, do not be presumptive. Remember, you are asking them to consider your circumstances, so you shouldn't tell them what you're going to do. You should ask them what, if anything, is an appropriate accommodation. You should also ask them privately, not in front of other students, and you should avoid making frequent requests. Most professors will be receptive to requests for proactive extensions before a due date, rather than retroactive extensions after a due date. And if you have any work completed before the due date, submit that work to your professor when you make your request. That way, if they deny you an extension, you don't earn a zero. Most professors will also be receptive to requests that have a valid and genuine reason for needing an extension. If possible, be proactive about providing evidence of your circumstances. You should not assume that because you think your excuse is valid, that your professor will also think so. And you definitely should not expect a professor to grant an extension in their class because you've decided to prioritize the work in another professor's class, or if you get caught in a lie. Finally, it is your responsibility to be proactive in avoiding potential technological meltdowns. Using Google Docs with the editing history turned on can save you from a crash and provide evidence for how far along you were when a due date passed. Remember, while professors are generally understanding and willing to accommodate students' genuine needs, you ultimately need to be prepared to accept your professor's decision gracefully, whether they grant you a request or not.